Story 1. Original post. Am I the a-hole for telling my cousin he doesn't have a shot at dating women because he's dating an AI girlfriend? Throwaway because this is the dumbest crap I've ever posted. My cousin, 25 male, has been obsessing over AI girlfriends and trashing real women. To be specific, he seems to have an app where he talks with an AI girl like some sort of Tinder conversation where the robot knows who he is. To be honest, he doesn't have the best looks. Despite being 25, he has a double chin, he's overweight, not severely but still, and he looks like a homeless bum. I'd be fine with all that if he didn't offend me, but he always starts conversations with me that piss me off. So for context, I recently started dating someone I met coincidentally. I haven't really brought him around my family yet since we've just started going out, but ever since my cousin found out, he's been complaining to other family members about how girls like me are too difficult to date and aren't worth it. I mean, he's entitled to his own opinions, but I don't know how to say it, but he keeps on demeaning me specifically, as he keeps on mentioning me when demeaning girls. Well, I couldn't really do anything, so I just ignored him. That was until yesterday, where my extended family came over for a meal. We were all eating and chatting, when all of a sudden he started talking about me, and how girls like me never date guys like him. I know it's not really something immensely annoying, but at the moment I felt disgusted. I really tried to keep my opinion to myself, but I got fed up and said something like, maybe if you didn't stay cooped up at home dating AI women, you'd have a shot at real women. I honestly didn't mean to offend him, but I was just pissed that it slipped out of my mouth. The whole family, my side and extended family, were there, and I know that it was the wrong time, but I think someone had to say it. However, he called me a slut and stormed off outside. Now, his side of the family is furious with me, saying I went too far and embarrassed him. I agree that I did embarrass him, but honestly, I think someone had to say it. When I tried saying that, my aunt looked at me like I was some demon spawn, so I just excused myself. Maybe am I the a-hole, but I'm curious about other people's opinion. Am I the a-hole? Also, a personal question is it wrong for me to feel disgusted? I mean, it's not like he's doing anything wrong, but whenever he talks about stuff like this, I just feel uncomfortable. Also, I just don't like being derogatorily, is that a word, treated. Any opinion is welcome. Edit. For everyone saying that the cousin is attracted to me, I think you may be right. Now for the comments, bro, I think your cousin wants to bang you. Definitely not the a-hole. He asked for it. My brain can't get to a judgment right now because I can't get past him using you, his relative, to compare to the women rejecting his advances. It gives me the creeps, but maybe I'm reading too far into it. Not the a-hole, maybe not the best timing, wording, but it did need to be said eventually. That also made me uncomfortable, because he only started complaining about this issue when he found out I got a boyfriend. Not the a-hole. He embarrassed himself by picking you on. He likes to dish it out, but he can't take it? Sorry, that's not how it works. If you insult PPL, they might insult you back. Maybe he will back off now. For the record, I don't think there's anything wrong with role-playing games or dating sims, but you don't have to sit there and be bullied. Ugly guys or guys with unconventional hobbies get girlfriends all the time. It's his exhausting personality that's the problem. No one wants to listen to some guy, or girl for that matter, who is just always running their mouth about others and tearing them down. Sex is something people do for many reasons, including fun, relaxation, or romance. And he sounds like the exact opposite of all those things. It's like, gee, I wonder why girls don't want to date a guy who wants her to be this picture-perfect, not difficult girl, and likely boost his ego. At that point, it's not the looks. It's that he sees girls as his validation, not the a-hole. Goddamn, I think your cousin has the hots for you, especially as he never said anything like this until you got a boyfriend. But you're right, someone needed to say this to him. He was the one embarrassing himself at the dinner table by starting up in the first place. He's 25 and acting 15. He needs to grow the F up, not the a-hole. Don't worry about trying to make incels feel good. Their whole worldview is built on self-pity and delusion. He's just projecting his failure onto you, and it's creepy and rude. Thank you. I felt bad for him before until he started acting weird towards me. I'm glad I'm not weird for thinking it's creepy. Not the a-hole. Dude talks crap. Gets destroyed, cries about it. Tell that stupid to go F himself. Tell your creepy family enablers to go F themselves. Rejoice in your new relationship. Seriously consider limiting your interactions with your family. Protect yourself. Good luck. Update. I've been feeling creeped out ever since you guys highlighted the fact that he might like me, and I think you're right. In the post, I didn't give you guys the most context, but here's our relationship. I used to be sympathetic towards him, and I would sometimes get him nice gifts during Christmas. He likes a game called Genshin Impact, so I got him some of the in-game currency in the game last Christmas. However, he would always hang around uncomfortably close to me, and also accidentally touch me sometimes. I'm not too sure if it was accidental now. I always shook it off, but it was when he started demanding that I do certain stuff. Well, it wasn't demanding, but he'd always want me to tie my hair in a ponytail for some reason, or wear certain colors. He would say, "You should do this," and look at me in a way that made me uncomfortable, so I started distancing myself from him subconsciously. Then, a few months ago, I started dating my boyfriend. He's a sweet guy, and he's my very first official relationship. The thing is, I preferred being single, but he changed my perspective on relationships, which is why he's my first. Anyways, I only told my immediate family, but at the next family gathering, everyone seemed to know. I don't know who told them, but it was too late. At the family meeting, he seemed unusually close to me. He made rude remarks, which he hasn't done before. I was quite shocked, but I justified it saying maybe he's having a bad day. But it continued, every time we saw each other, even online. It was at this point I learned he was dating AI girls. Well, one of the aunts was talking about it, and I overheard. I'm not quite sure of the details, but apparently he was paying real money for his AI girlfriend. Anyways, at that point I started feeling a bit repulsed. Don't get me wrong, I understand how difficult it is for some people to live without relationships, but the fact that it was him specifically made me a bit uncomfortable. Every holiday after that, he'd make slight comments saying how girls like you, me, never date guys like me. I held it in until the first post. That's when I said something back. Anyways, I appreciate all the comments. I can't respond to them all, but they made me feel a lot better about myself. Honestly, it's my first time seeing anyone say that me being called a slut is bad. I really almost teared up when I read that. I never had any relationships before, but due to my appearance, I tend to attract a lot of male attention. So a lot of people in my life have called me similar words. I always felt hurt, but I couldn't understand why, but reading the comments made me feel validated. Thank you. Anyways, I discussed this with my mother. My mother just told me to suck it up, and she laughed about my concerns. She thinks it's absurd that I'm disturbed about his comments. She told me that my cousin is really depressed right now, and all we could do is support him. I tried talking with my aunt, but my aunt told me that if I wanted to fix this situation, I should go back to being single and stop making my cousin worry all the time. She seems to think that me having a boyfriend is pressuring him to get a girlfriend. I asked a few of my friends, but my friends mostly said similar comments to you guys, which made me feel so validated. However, none of my family thinks I'm right. Would there be a way to set a boundary without being too rude to piss off my family? My friends told me that I should tell him to show me his AI girlfriend, and if it resembles me to say out loud, "Are you attracted to girls that look like me, your cousin?" Really loudly, LOL. I considered that, but I think that's too mean. Just curious though, if I did that, would I be the AI hole? I think it would be yes, obviously, haha. But anyways, please give me advice for ways to set boundaries. Also, I'd appreciate it if you guys could give your input on whether I should confront my cousin. Thank you so much. Now for the comments. Your family is gross, not the a-hole. Your cousin is giving major creepy incest vibes, and your family is enabling his predatory behavior. He's literally making a digital version of you, and they're telling you to break up with your boyfriend? Hell no. Your mom and aunt are clearly in denial. This isn't just being depressed. This is straight up stalking behavior. Red flags everywhere. The touching, demanding how you dress, the AI girlfriend, the hostile comments when you got a boyfriend. Get out of there. Set firm boundaries. Tell someone you trust to keep an eye on his behavior. Your safety matters more than his feelings or family drama. Trust your gut. You're not overreacting. Not the a-hole, but could be dangerous to ask him like that. At this point, you don't know if violence is only in words or could get worse. Talk with your dad about it too. How you feel about it is important. Family is all about respect. If they can't give you that, cut it off. There's no suck it up. There's no, if you want to help him get single again, those don't solve his issue. You are not the problem here. You are not the cause. You are a victim of his perversion. If talking doesn't work, I do recommend not showing up when he's around. It's your life. Don't let them make you suffer as they don't understand your feelings. I don't really have the best relationship with my father because he used to hit me as a child. That's why I didn't mention him in any of my posts. However, I do feel like he would take the incestuous nature of this situation quite seriously. However, I'm not sure if I should reach out to him. For now, I'm thinking of avoiding the cousin. Thank you. To start, not the a-hole. I don't know your family dynamics, but keep in mind you don't have to interact with him or explain why. If he is infatuated with you, engaging with him is not going to help you or him. Pointing out that his infatuation is wrong is unlikely to help either. If he is showing incel-type tendencies, the influence of that community will likely override anything you say or do. If he is saying insulting or degrading things to you, about you, you do not need to tolerate that. However, you also don't owe him an education, so don't bother correcting him again and again. It'll only cause you frustration and will be aggravating. I would say surround yourself with people who make you feel good about yourself, who challenge you in a positive way, and distance yourself from those that do otherwise. Try to politely stop engaging with him if he won't let you. Refuse to attend family events where he will be present, and then explain to your parents why so they support you. If they don't support you, just don't engage with him. Your family sounds like they pity your cousin because he hasn't had much going well in life, and that makes him get away with disgusting behavior. He's responsible for his own behavior, and his attitude makes him really unattractive to women, not his looks. I'm pretty sure if you guys decided to date together, the whole family would be overjoyed. Your aunt and mother are enabling his behavior. I'd keep my distance from him and protect my boundaries. I agree. Maybe I should just distance myself. Even my friends said that their parents would have taken action, but my parents don't seem to, even when I tell them I'm uncomfortable. Thank you. OP. I might be reading too much into this, but please do not let your guard down around him. Please don't accept a drink from him or sleep over. The warning signs are there, and his mother, your aunt, is enabling it. He might feel like he has a right to get access to you. There was just found a Telegram group with over 70K men getting advice on how to drug and RP the women in their life. Wife, daughter, nieces, and even cousins. He's chronically online. He's already manifesting sick behaviors. I hope it doesn't escalate, but what if it does? Take preventative measures for your own sake. The Telegram group is horrifying and quite scary. I hope I'll never be in a similar situation. Thank you for your input, and I'll be sure to be extra careful. Thank you so much. Story 2. Am I the a-hole here for wanting a divorce my husband doesn't want and risking no relationship with his child? My husband, 33 male, and I, 30 female, have been married for 11 years. He is in the military and we have lived all over the place. During this time, I have taken on most, if not all, of the household chores, grocery shopping, cleaning, cooking, laundry, and when needed, he has mowed the lawn, hung stuff up on walls. I have for most of our marriage had a job as well. I asked in the past for help around the house, and it was not even considered. He in fact threatened to eat off of paper plates or eat fast food so that I wouldn't have to worry about his dishes. Fast forward to now, we have a 13-month-old baby. I have stayed home since birth and am still cooking, cleaning, laundry, groceries, pets, all on me. I again decided to revisit the topic as I'm feeling so burnt out. I breastfeed all night, am responsible for bath time, feeding baby for mealtime, clean up after mealtime, dishes. He thinks going to work is enough? That I'm not grateful for him working since I'm asking him to help me around the house? I told him, why are we married then? I can just get a job and do it all myself still. I'd find a way. He reluctantly agreed to helping after I mentioned this would be it for me. The following week, every time he fed the baby, or changed the baby, or put food away after dinner, it was always a comment, I hope this is enough, or am I doing enough? We got home one day after grocery shopping. I got the baby out of the car seat and went to the other side to grab a few bags. He said, no, I got it. I said, please let me get some. He said, no. As we're walking inside, he says, I hope breaking my back is enough for you. Like, I can't win. I told him it's like he's punishing me for asking for help. I mentioned divorce, and he said if we divorce, he isn't going to be involved in our child's life. He said, and I quote, it's all or nothing. He says he doesn't want to divorce. We currently live overseas, and divorce would mean me moving back to the States near family with our baby while he stays at his duty station. Am I the a-hole for considering divorcing my husband, knowing that he would choose not to know his own child? How can I do this to our baby? But how can I live like this? Am I asking for too much? Edit to add, we married after 6 months of dating. Military marriage. Shocker, right? He had said during that time that he grew up with a single mom and had sisters and could understand the female perspective. During one of our long conversations throughout the dating period, I mentioned equal housework responsibilities, and he agreed. Married, and then things were opposite. I over the years would approach the subject different ways, gently asking, reminding, being louder, showing how upset I felt. It didn't matter. I have held down jobs our whole marriage until now, so we always were both working. I just kept trying to let it go, convincing myself that he doesn't drink, isn't physically abusive, and provides well, so I should be grateful. Every conversation attempt to try to get him to share in household responsibilities ended up in me apologizing for not being grateful for all he does. In his words, he'll never be good enough. For years in our marriage, we never got pregnant, and eventually tests were ran, and we were told we could not conceive. Only possible with intervention, but again, that would be a maybe. 2 years ago, my husband confessed to cheating while on deployment when I picked him up the same night he got back. We found out I was pregnant 4 months after he told me what he did. Counseling with him only lasted 2 sessions. He said it brought up too much trauma from his childhood. Anytime I tried to talk about it, it would end up with me trying to make him feel better about what he did and the shame he had around his actions. I should have left a long time ago. I completely agree with those statements. I just didn't want to throw in the towel over things that could be fixed. I knew there was potential here and tried and begged for years. I am not perfect. I have flaws and faults. But I will never regret my child. We have the happiest and healthiest baby who is a complete joy. Thank you for reading this far, and I appreciate those who have been kind. I am leaning towards counseling if he's willing, but I am also taking necessary steps in the background to remove myself and our child from this dysfunction if things cannot be worked out. I believe in marriage, and that's why I'm still here. But everyone has a breaking point. Now for the comments. He would choose not to know his own child? How can I do this to our baby? Read that out loud several times. He is literally telling you that he doesn't love his own child. Is that someone you want raising your child? Contact your family and start making plans to return home. Once those plans are in place, return home for a visit, and just don't come back. File for divorce after you're back in the States. Yep, she should just make an exit plan, execute it, then have him sent notification of the divorce. She is wasting her time trying to beg this loser to change. He is unstable, and I always recommend to women in a situation like this where they are stay-at-home mom to get their ducks in a row, get far away, and then serve the papers. He already seems like he has no relationship with his child, so what would be the difference? If you move back closer to family, would you have help? Either way, not the a-hole. Your husband sucks, not the a-hole. This is emotional abuse and manipulation, plain and simple. He's using your child as a hostage to keep you trapped in an unfair marriage. His comments about breaking his back and "is this enough" show he views basic parenting and household duties as some huge favor to you rather than his responsibility. That's not a partnership. The fact he'd abandon his child over divorce shows exactly what kind of father he really is. Document everything. Get legal advice quietly. And remember, you're not ruining your child's life by leaving. He's the one threatening to abandon his kid. His behavior is toxic and you deserve better. Save yourself and your baby. Make sure you go for child support, not the a-hole. If he thinks doing the bare minimum is breaking his back, then he's not worth sticking around for. Edit to add, using your kid and an all-or-nothing ultimatum to try and guilt you into staying is a prick move, and your kid will be better off without him too. He said if we divorce, he isn't going to be involved in our child's life. He said, and I quote, "It's all or nothing. Leave now." I would have a very large support system. Time to go. You married a man-child that isn't going to get better. The military improves a lot of people, but some it just enables behavior. My ex-sister-in-law is like this. 20-plus years in the Navy simply gave her structure, but out of it she has floundered.
Thank you for listening. If you like the video, consider like and subscribe. If you want more stories like these, turn on your notification to receive the latest stories.